Welcome to Play in School TV, episode 21. I'm Rich Prado. In today's episode, we make a visit to the real world. The theme of today's show is going to be about what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. I can't encourage you enough to surround yourself with people that are going to tell you the things you need to hear. So I was tickled to death on Monday evening and I get a phone call from Chris down in small town Georgia. Now Chris doesn't need a thing from me. His kid's off to college. His kid's a pitcher who's got a bright future ahead of him. Now I've never done any work with Chris or Chris's kid. I don't know Chris from anybody. But Chris has been following along with our Play in School TV videos, and he just wanted to call me up and tell me he's done work with some of the quote-unquote big companies, and he spent a lot of money with some of these people. The difference between me and them is I'm not afraid to tell folks what they need to hear. A lot of the big companies are out there telling kids what they want to hear because they want to continually upsell parents. That's not how I do business. So needless to say, talking to Chris just re-emphasized to me how great and how important these videos have been for people on the other end who I've never met. So I want to thank you again for watching. We talked about how easy it is to get caught up in the recruiting process. Sure, it's exciting. And then we got talking about how easy it is to quote-unquote drink the juice. And then Chris came up with one of the best lines I've ever heard. He said, the hangover is brutal after drinking the juice. So just be careful, moms and dads, about the juice you're drinking. The phone call with Chris was on Monday night, and it definitely reassured me that keeping it real is the only way to be. Tuesday morning, I get an email from a parent. Let me give you a quick backstory. As you know, we do college recruiting videos for some of the best organizations in the country. We recently filmed a team. I have put their videos online, and they are in the process of reviewing them and making sure all the T's have been crossed and all the I's have been dotted. That's when I get an email from a parent. Let me read it. Can I get the link to the player's video? I think it went to his email, which does not get checked often. Well, in typical Rich Prado fashion, my response was as real as it gets. Let me read that to you. Is that the response you're going to send college coaches to? Keeping it real, because somebody has to. A, tell him to check his email. B, you can check his email for him. Or C, have his emails forwarded to your email. The recruiting process is not the time to let these things slip through the cracks. 2 minutes later, the father responds with a simple email. And he says, I agree. Moral of the story is, parents, you got to surround yourself with people who are going to tell you how it is and tell you things you need to hear. I hope this guy didn't think that I was coming across as mean or inconsiderate. Just the opposite. I care for this kid. This kid is a tremendous talent. Yet he doesn't have the guidance from his parents or his coaches to set up the plan that we talked about in order to attack this recruiting process in a work-like fashion. There's definitely some beauty when you don't have an agenda. I don't have an agenda with this kid or any of the other kids that I'm working with. What I'm trying to do is teach these kids how to take control of their own process. And by not checking your email, you're putting yourself at a gigantic disadvantage. Meanwhile, this dad is allowing that to happen. Meanwhile, his coaches have not explained to him how to go about putting yourself in the best possible position. Guys, you need to set up a plan and you need to follow the plan. Keeping it real since 2008. Follow me on all my social media at Play in School.